Well, Coach, biggest challenge for the mountain teams this weekend?
The biggest challenge for Friday night is transition. They're a very good transition team. They're also really hungry for a win. They've lost four straight, so they're going to come in here, I think, blazing with a lot of confidence because they beat us last time. So transition's the first thing. Trying to make Megan Huff work for every shot she gets is going to be another challenge. Just matchup wise, it's different, and they're a really good team that's coached really well. So I think overall, it's going to be a tough game, but it's definitely a winnable home game.
What do you see as the importance of these games, knowing who you have after them, and also when you're trying to make the postseason?
Well, this game is extremely important. This weekend is extremely important because of that. Because then next we go to the Bay Area. That's a hard trip. And Stanford's coming off one of their worst losses in Tara Vanderveer's career. So I guarantee Stanford's going to look very different the next few weeks. They're going to be very motivated, challenged. So it's going to be a tough weekend there. Cal's always tough at Cal. And Christina Nigwe is just a force that's extremely hard for us to match up with. But, we beat them once. So another reason they're going to be trying to get revenge. We know it's going to be a hard one. And then coming home and playing the number 3 ranked team in the country and number 9. That's a tough way to end the Pac-12. But so that puts even more importance on this weekend. I think these are very important, winnable games.
And why would it be so important for the program to make the postseason, whether it's the NIT or the NCAA tournament?
It's really important because it shows where we're headed. It shows, where this program's going compared to where it's been. I don't know the stats on the last time that we've made the postseason, but I feel like it's been a very long time. 2011, so we're talking 8 years. That's a long time. So I think that just showing the momentum and the direction this program's going in, I think is very important for our future success, not only for recruiting, but for just the city and our players, everything. And speaking personally, when I went to college, we should have made the tournament the year we didn't. We made the NIT, and then we won the NIT. So that was a huge pivotal point in the program because after that we were hungry for the tournament, and we ended up being more successful. So I think that was what changed when I went to school here.
So do you tell the players, do you talk to the players about the importance of making the postseason, or do you not do that just because you don't want them to think too far ahead?
Yeah, I don't do that because I don't want them to think too far ahead, but I do talk about every game being important, and I do paint a realistic picture and show them, hey, this is the reality, this is where we're at, but then we don't talk about it more. I'm sure some do research, I'm sure some have no idea. So I talk about winning every game, taking one game at a time, because if you look ahead, you're not going to reach either of your goals. So I think we have a very good chance to make the postseason. Whether that's NIT or the tournament, it's still a huge turning point in this program.
What to take away from the split of the Washington school?
I took away that, we're not at the point yet in the program where we can go handle the business that we're supposed to yet. We're just not there yet. It's very hard in the Pac-12. Every team is really good despite their record. So that was a game, that was a weekend I felt we should have swept and had a great opportunity to, but Washington State played really well and we never responded. But we didn't go into the game from the get-go hungry with the mentality like we're not leaving here without a win. So that showed me like where we're at. And we're just not there yet, and that's not a bad thing. So it's my job to teach us, and it's my job to challenge us, but also know where we're at. We're not ready to win the Pac-12 yet. We're not ready for that. We don't have the depth, we don't have the experience, we don't have the personnel yet, but we will. So that's just what I'm optimistic about. But could we have swept the Washingtons? Yeah, but it was going to be hard. And should we? Probably not. I think that Washington State has more experience than us, and they have more depth and more guards than we do. So it was going to be a challenge, but I thought it was a very realistic challenge. Now, if you said you're going to go to Oregon and sweep Oregons, I would have said, no, we're not ready for that yet. Can it happen? Yes, but we're not there yet. So I was very disappointed. I thought that the Washington State loss was one of our worst losses of the year, along with LMU. But it's also a game that we can learn from. It's a game where we know we have to get better, and we have to execute better things, small things, in order to win games. Because I also felt like we could have beat UCLA here, but they won. They played a great game. But I felt like we missed opportunities, and I feel like we did that again at Washington State. So the other, like losing at Oregon State, that should happen. They should beat us. But, the UCLA here in triple overtime, and they're a better team than us right now. But we still should have won that game. Washington State, we just didn't put our best foot forward. So those are games you need to win, and that's the difference of being an NIT team or a team that doesn't make the tournament and a team that does. those are the differences. It's a small margin of error, and we're learning, and we're young. But the good thing is we have Ari back next year, and we have all 5 starters back.
So what was the trip like back here? Then you were coming off a disappointing loss, and the flight got delayed.
Our flights are always delayed. It was a tough weekend just because of that. But it was it was snowing there. It was just different. But any trip is long. I don't care if you have a direct flight that's 30 minutes. Anything feels long after you lost. So whether it's a triple overtime loss, just a loss in general, traveling home is long. But it's worse when you're on a 5-hour bus drive. But thank God we don't do that a lot. So it was long. But that whole trip was hard because of weather. But that's just kind of our reality. That's the reality of women's sports.
This coming weekend with the 2 mountain schools, do you expect an increase in the crowd size? I know we're doing our part.
I know you guys are working. Thank you.
I think a lot of it, and it may be because the men aren't doing as well as normal, and the focus may is like, hey, we've got a great women's team here. Let's check them out.
Yeah, so I don't want that. I don't wish on that. But, and I think Sean knew coming into the season it was going to be like that. But also, people better remember he's got the #1 class in the country next year. So there's always, it ebbs and flows. You're going to go, that's how programs are. When you lose the best player, in the #1 player in the draft, you're going to go down. And you see that women's basketball. Washington lost Kelsey Plum. You are going to go down. And that's a part of reality. And I think fans don't understand that. But for us, I want people to be excited because our program's changing. Our program, there's so many positive things about our program now that there's stuff to be excited for. And I'm proud of that and excited about that. And we're winning some games. And are we winning every game? No, but we have some exciting basketball. And we have one of the best guards in the country. And we have some other pretty good role players. So I think it's exciting to watch us. And I think fans are getting to know us. And they see what we're doing on and off the court. So I think that's exciting, and I think it's cheap entertainment. I don't know a lot of other things you can do for the amount of money you pay for women's basketball games. So I do challenge the fans to come. We need a fan base. It is important. It helps you win. And, my aspirations are to make it like men's basketball one day. And it may never have 14,500 a game like South Carolina, but I think when you look back at Dawn Staley's program in South Carolina, they used to have 1,500. So you win, you get more fans. That's the reality. And we will continue to win more, and we'll get more fans. But I think it's realistic for us to get 5,000 people. And I think the city should be excited about the things we're doing because I think here it's a great school to follow. It's a great program. It's a great team. And we're doing some really special things.
What are the challenges when you play a team for the second time?
It's just hard because you both take away strengths. Like we're looking at a lot of film, we're scouting, we're seeing the ways that they were successful against us, the things that weren't successful. So every team does that. And at this point in the year, you're calling out each other's plays and you're taking stuff away. So it's just harder. But I think for us, we're hungry because they kicked our butts. So just like how when we go to Cal, it's going to be hard because we won here. You want revenge in the Pac-12.
So what are you just kind of thinking about these upcoming home games? Obviously, when you kind of look at who you guys have after them, you have a really tough schedule. So do you see these as really important games, maybe for like your postseason chances or something like that?
Definitely. This weekend is a big weekend for us. We can possibly sweep. Utah's coming off a 4-game losing streak. They're obviously a good team, but I think that with the confidence we have, we should be able to win this weekend. And Colorado's a good team. They just got their first conference win. So if we just stay focused, execute, and do what we did at the first meeting, then we should be fine this weekend.
What do you think about being named to those 2 watch lists?
It was definitely an honor to be named on both of those watch lists with a lot of most decorated players in the country and good players at that. And so it was an honor just knowing that I can do that. It was an honor. It was just a humbling experience, honestly.
What was it like to play at Washington last weekend?
It was actually welcoming. The slides I got booed. One of the plays I got booed, but it was actually welcoming. I seen a lot of old teammates and friends, and it felt good.
Is it kind of weird how much change the program has undergone in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, it's definitely dang. Even just seeing the crowd, I was like, wow, this is not like it was a couple years ago, but they'll get back there soon.
Do you guys have a number of Pac-12 wins you wanted to reach this year, or any sort of goal like that?
We didn't have an exact number of wins, but we definitely on the door of our locker room. One of our goals is to be top 6 in the conference. That's one of our goals.
So that makes that's why this weekend obviously is very
Yeah.
How do you feel like you're playing now? I know it seems like you guys have gotten a lot more balanced scoring lately. I mean, so how do you think you've been?
I've been playing all right. I've been doing a much better job in getting my teammates involved. Definitely, I have to pick up on the defensive end, but it's, that'll come. But definitely, just I've been focused on getting my teammates involved.
Now that you're starting to play the teams twice again, or for the second time, I mean, do you kind of expect the defenses to approach you differently, or anything like that?
That's tough because I've seen a lot of defense this past conference. I would definitely say the same defense, honestly. A lot of teams are going third on me, and so I expect teams to do that more with the way I'm shooting inconsistently, but definitely I expect the same defense.
Do you feel like because you guys have had a pretty good season that maybe you can't sneak up on teams anymore, things like that, where they kind of know like, oh, now we see Arizona on the schedule, so we better take them seriously?
Definitely. I already felt that like before a conference, like anybody we play, like they play us harder than they played someone before us. So, I think definitely a lot of teams think that, oh, this is Arizona, we have to play them really hard. So.
What was that travel like? I know it was like the weather there was terrible.
Oh my gosh, it was awful. Like I am not made for the snow, so it was definitely awful, and it was frustrating. But I'm just glad we got to and from our destination safely.
It was a Thursday, Saturday, which is pretty rare. So how have you guys, I guess, used that extra day off since you got back?
We used that to rest. Like I know a lot of us slept in, just used that time very wisely to rest our body and just catch up on sleep, and that's exactly what we did.
What have been the points of emphasis in practice this week?
Rebounding, taking pride in defense, guarding your yard. That's been our focus this week, just defense and rebounding.
How big do you think it would be for the program to play in the postseason, whether it's the NCAA tournament or even like the NXT?
This would be real big, and I want to say it's been a decade since they've been to postseason, so this would be real big for us, and we're just looking forward to whether it's the NCAA and NIT. We're excited to make a tournament.
You guys talk about that at all?
We talked about it at the beginning of the season, and then the last couple games we've really been emphasizing like we need to get some key wins to make it to postseason. Thank you.
So, what do you kind of think you see as the importance of this weekend, kind of knowing both teams that are coming here struggling, and then you see who you have after them? So
Yeah.
how important is that?
This week's very important. It's kind of like the restart of the season, kind of because we played them our first Pac-12 game, and now we're playing them again at home. So it's just getting prepared, hoping to get these wins this weekend.
What's the biggest difference when you play a team for the second time?
Well, definitely everyone's getting better. Utah had an injury earlier in the season, one of their starters, so now she's still out, but the rest of the team has actually come together and learned how to work without her. So that's going to be a challenge for us.
Do you see like big changes when you did it last year? Do you see big changes in opposing teams' game plans or anything like that?
Well, they definitely know your plays a lot better now. A lot of teams kind of run similar stuff just with screens, so now they've had more practice with it. So we just got to get better and try and
I'm sure
work
you
on.
feel the same way about that.
Yeah, yeah, it goes both ways.
When you guys talked about, Ari was saying before the season, you talked about maybe the importance of making the postseason. What was the conversation like?
Yeah, well, we definitely had these goals of like what it would take to win postseason, just with like hard work, some key games we need to win. So we were just talking about like we're gonna try our best this year to make it postseason to really have a chance.
What do you think the importance of that would be to the program, knowing that it hasn't made the postseason in quite a while?
Yeah, yeah, it'd be awesome to be a part of that just because I don't know how long it's been, but I'm sure there'd be something to tweet about it to see how long it's been if we actually make it. So I'm excited and hoping we can make it.
What have you guys been working on in practice this week, or what's the emphasis?
Yeah, definitely defense. After last week's Washington State, how we let them score like 90 points or something like that. We definitely can't win games if we're letting teams score that many points, so we're definitely limiting that.
I guess what was the mood then when you were like coming home from that? It was obviously kind of disappointing.
Yeah, disappointing. It was snowy too. We're not used to that, so our flights were delayed a little bit. But I mean, we just had thought about what we had to do to get better and what we could have done to win the game, and now we're ready back in practice, focused on this week.
What do you think the biggest challenge for these two games coming up against the Mountain School would be?
Probably just staying focused, one team at a time, just taking it day by day, game by game to see how we can really turn out.
And the issue of rebounding, the coach has been kind of really concentrating on at least the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
How is that coming along?
It's good. We're definitely emphasizing it in practice. We're trying to get those box outs, the rebounds, so in the game it'll actually show and we can hopefully win the rebounding battle.
All right. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.